It's me, your wife.
your wife.
She said it
Angela.
with tears in her eyes. But he couldn't believe what he was seeing. The woman he left in a happy home was now begging on the street. He stood there, frozen, in his $3,000 coat, while she sat on a piece of cardboard, in the cold, with a paper cup, and a sign that read, "Please help. God bless." His name was Ethan Cross. 6 years ago, he kissed his wife goodbye at the airport. He whispered, "I'll be back in 1 year, I promise." He was gone for 6. But what happened to her was not just abandonment. Someone planned it. Someone wanted her gone. And that someone was already sitting inside Ethan's life. The plane landed at JFK at 7:14 in the morning. Ethan Cross was the last man off the flight. He always was. He liked the quiet after everyone else had gone. He stood in the jetway, adjusting his watch, breathing in the cold airport air. New York. Home. Or at least, it used to be. 6 years in Dubai. 6 years building a real estate empire that now spanned 12 countries. He was worth $420 million. He owned planes. He owned buildings. He owned floors of skylines. And he had walked away from the only thing that ever mattered. Her name was Nadia. Nadia Cross. His wife. He pulled out his phone and opened her last text. It was from 3 years ago. "Ethan, I can't do this anymore. Please, come home." He had read it 1,000 times. He had typed replies 100 times. He had never sent a single one. Because he told himself, one more deal, one more quarter, one more year, and then he would go home and fix everything. But when he finally called her number last month, it was disconnected. He called her sister. Her sister picked up and said just 5 words. "You need to come home." Then she hung up. She didn't say why. She didn't say where Nadia was. She didn't say if Nadia was okay. And that silence was the most terrifying thing Ethan Cross had ever heard. The black car was waiting outside arrivals. Ethan threw his bag in the back. "Take me to Elmwood Court. Apartment 7C. The driver nodded. As they drove through Queens, Ethan watched the city wake up. Garbage trucks, coffee carts, commuters in coats, heads down, moving fast. Normal life. The kind of life he had walked away from. The car stopped in front of his building. It looked smaller than he remembered. Older. He walked to the entrance and buzzed 7C. Nothing. He buzzed again. A man's voice crackled through the intercom. "Who are you looking for?" "Nadia Cross. My wife." Long pause. "Nobody by that name lives here." "I'm sorry, what?" "I moved in 14 months ago. The unit was empty when I got it." The line went dead. Ethan stood at the door. His wife's apartment. And a stranger was living in it. His hands went cold. Not from the weather. From something else entirely. Friends, where do you think Nadia is right now? Comment below before we continue. He called her sister again. No answer. He called her best friend, Priya. It rang 4 times. Then, "Ethan." Her voice was flat. "Where is Nadia?" "You shouldn't have waited this long to ask." "Priya, please. I'm standing outside our building." "She's not there. Tell me where she is." Silence. Then the sound of Priya exhaling. "I see her sometimes. Near the underpass on West 42nd. By the bus shelter." "What do you mean you see her there?" Priya's voice cracked. "Just go, Ethan. Go and see." "I can't say it. I can't." She hung up. Direct hit hook. Near an underpass. By a bus shelter. Why would Nadia Cross, a woman with a law degree, a beautiful apartment, a loving heart, be anywhere near an underpass at 7 a.m.? "Take me to West 42nd. The underpass by Port Authority." The driver glanced in the mirror. "That's a rough area this time of morning, sir." "I know. Drive." The car moved through the city. From the glass towers of Midtown. Down through the gritty blocks where the streets smell like exhaust and old rain. Ethan's leg was bouncing. His jaw was tight. He kept telling himself, "She probably volunteers there. She probably helps people there. She was always helping someone." That was Nadia. That was who she was. The car slowed near the underpass. It was gray. Damp. A few people moved along the sidewalk with bags and cups. Ethan looked out the window, scanning faces. And then he saw her. She was sitting on a flattened cardboard box, back against the concrete wall, her knees pulled up to her chest, wearing a jacket that was 2 sizes too big. Her hair was long and loose and tangled. But that posture, that exact way she always held herself when she was cold. He knew that posture. He had held that posture in his arms 100 times. Stop the car. He was already opening the door before it fully stopped. He walked toward her slowly, his expensive shoes on the wet concrete. A man in a $400 shirt walking toward a woman begging on the street. A woman who used to be his entire world. She had a paper cup in front of her. And a sign. He read it as he walked closer. Please help. Single mother. 2 children. God bless. He stopped. 2 children. His mind went completely blank. 2 children. Ethan had no children. He and Nadia had never. When he left, she was not pregnant. So what did that sign mean? Who were these children? And why hadn't anyone told him? The woman on the cardboard was talking to someone beside her. A little boy, maybe 4 years old. She handed him a piece of bread. Eat slowly, baby. Make it last. That voice hit Ethan like a train. He couldn't breathe, couldn't move. The boy looked up, and then the woman looked up too. And their eyes met. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just looked at him. The way a person looks at something they stopped believing in. The way you look at a ghost. Nadia. His voice broke on her name. She looked away. Back to the boy. Finish your bread, Adam. Nadia, please look at me. The boy, Adam, stared up at Ethan with wide, curious eyes. Mommy, who is that? Nadia was quiet for a long moment. Then, nobody, baby. Keep eating. Nobody. That one word from Nadia hit harder than any slap. What do you think Ethan should say right now? Drop your answer below. Nadia. Ethan crouched down to her level. I'm here. I came back. She didn't look up. You're 6 years too late. I know I am. But I'm here now. What do you want, Ethan? I want to understand. I want to know what happened. She laughed. Not a happy laugh. The kind of laugh that comes from a place that stopped feeling anything long ago. What happened? Life happened. You left. And everything fell apart. I sent money every month, Nadia. $20,000. Every single month, without fail. She finally looked at him. Her eyes were darker than he remembered. Not in color. In depth. Like something behind them had gone quiet. Ethan, I never received a single dollar from you. Not one. He felt the world tilt. That's impossible. I have every transaction on record. Then your records are wrong. Or they're lying to you. Who would lie to? He stopped himself. Because an answer was already forming in the back of his mind. An answer that made him feel sick. Someone in Ethan's life had access to his accounts. Someone who had managed his finances for years. Someone he trusted completely. And right now, that someone had no idea he was in New York. After the first 3 months with nothing, Nadia said quietly, I used our savings. Then I sold everything. Piece by piece. My jewelry. The furniture. Your books. Your guitar. Nadia, I called your office every week. Every week, Ethan. For 8 months. Your assistant always said you were unavailable. One day she told me to stop calling. She said it was disrupting your work. Ethan went very still. My assistant said that. She said, and I'm quoting her exactly, Mr. Cross is building a legacy. Please don't make it harder for him. The name formed on Ethan's tongue like something poisonous. Sophia Walsh. His executive assistant. 7 years of loyalty. 7 years of trust. Or so he thought. Nadia continued, her voice flat now, like she was reporting someone else's life. I got evicted after 5 months. I was 3 weeks pregnant when it happened. The world stopped. What? I found out the day before the eviction. I tried to reach you. I called your cell. Your office. I even emailed the hotel in Dubai where I knew you were staying. I never received. I know you didn't, she said. I know that now. She paused. Her hand went to Adam's hair, smoothing it gently. This is Adam, she said. Your son. He's 4 years old. His son. Ethan looked at the boy. The wide brown eyes. The small serious face. His nose. He had his nose exactly. Adam, Nadia said gently. Can you go sit by Mrs. Alvarez for a minute? That lady with the green scarf. The boy looked at Ethan one more time, then trotted obediently to a woman sitting 20 feet away. Ethan couldn't speak. His throat had closed completely. You said 2 children, he finally managed. Your sign said 2 children. Nadia's face changed. Something passed across it that he couldn't name. Yes, she said quietly. There were 2. Were. She looked at the ground. Her name was Lily. She was Adam's twin. Past tense. Nadia. She died at 6 weeks old. She was premature. Too small. I was living in a shelter. I couldn't afford the treatment she needed. I held her for 6 weeks, and then I held her while she took her last breath. Ethan was on his knees in the street. He didn't remember falling. He was simply on his knees. On the cold concrete. With people walking past him. Looking at him like he was crazy. And he didn't care. He didn't care about anything except the fact that he had a son who didn't know him, and a daughter who was buried somewhere he had never even been. A daughter named Lily, a son named Adam, both born while Ethan was building his empire. If this is breaking your heart, comment Lily. Let's see who is truly here with this story. Ethan helped Nadia and Adam into the car, not to his hotel. Not yet. She wasn't ready for that. So he took her to a diner 2 blocks away. Warm, bright, coffee and eggs. Normal things. Nadia ordered for Adam first. Pancakes, orange juice, a side of fruit. She watched him eat before she touched anything herself. That told Ethan everything about how long she had been doing this alone. While Adam colored on a paper placemat, Ethan opened his phone. He pulled up his financial records. $20,000 every month. For 72 months. Over $1.5 million. All marked. Delivered. Account confirmed. He slid the phone across to Nadia. What is your account number? She told him. Ethan looked at the transfer records. The last 4 digits were different. By 1 number. Just 1. Someone changed the routing. Ethan said softly. Someone inside my financial system changed where this money was going. Someone with access to my accounts. Who has that access? Nadia asked. Ethan already knew the answer. Only one person in Ethan's entire organization had full, unsupervised access to his personal accounts, his correspondence, his calendar, and his private communications. And that person had also been the one telling Nadia not to call. He called his head of security from the table. Marcus, I need you to run a full audit on all outgoing transfers from my personal account for the past 6 years. I also need every email and phone record involving Sophia Walsh. Sophia? Your assistant Sophia? Yes. And Marcus, assume it's a crime. Because I think it is. He hung up. Nadia was watching him carefully. Her name is Sophia? My executive assistant. 7 years. She called me once, Nadia said slowly. About 2 years in. After I stopped calling the office. What did she say? Nadia's jaw tightened. She said Ethan had asked her to convey a message. She said you had met someone in Dubai. That you wanted a clean break. That if I pursued contact, your lawyers would file for abandonment and I would receive nothing in the divorce. She said I told her to say that? She said it with such confidence. She knew things about us, personal things. Our anniversary date, the name of our first apartment, the name of your mother. She had access to all of that. My emails, my files. I believed her, Nadia said. Because how could she have known all of that if it wasn't true? Ethan closed his eyes. The geometry of the betrayal was becoming clear. Sophia hadn't just stolen money. She had constructed a reality, a false life, a false version of Ethan. And she had sold it to Nadia at the most vulnerable moment possible. There's something else, Nadia said. Her voice was careful now, deliberate. 6 months after you left, I came to Dubai. Ethan's eyes opened. You came too. I flew 17 hours. I had just found out I was pregnant. I needed to see you. Face to face. Nadia, I never knew. I got to your building. I told the front desk who I was. They called upstairs. She paused. Sophia came down. Ethan felt everything inside him go cold. She came to the lobby with 2 men. Security. She told me I was not on the approved visitor list. She told me Ethan Cross did not wish to see me. She put $200 in my hand and told me to go back to New York. She put money in your $200, Nadia repeated. Like I was nothing. Like I was a problem to be paid off. Ethan put both hands flat on the table. He needed to feel something solid. Because the room was spinning. And you were pregnant. You were pregnant, and she sent you away. Yes. One word. One word that cost more than anything Ethan had ever paid for. Sophia Walsh had blocked Nadia from the lobby of Ethan's own building, while Nadia was carrying his twins. She had sent the mother of his children away with pocket change. And Ethan had been 1 floor above, working, completely unaware his entire life was being dismantled in the lobby below him. Marcus called back in 4 hours. Ethan took the call in the hotel hallway. It's bad, Marcus said. It's very bad. Tell me everything. Account number manipulation started in month 1. She set up a mirror account, almost identical to your wife's number. Every transfer went to her. How much total? 1.4 million over 72 months. Ethan said nothing. There's more. She intercepted emails. Created a filtering rule that diverted anything from your wife's address to a hidden folder. You never saw them. How many emails? Pause. 412. Ethan's back hit the wall. He slid down it slowly, sitting on the floor of a hotel hallway. In his expensive clothes. 412 emails from his wife. 412 moments where she reached out. 412 times she chose to still believe in him. All of them locked in a folder he never knew existed. Marcus, the emails. Can you recover them? Already done. Sending them to your phone now. Ethan's phone buzzed. Then buzzed again. 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 Until it wouldn't stop. 412 notifications. He opened the first one. Ethan. Day 14. I miss you so much it feels like a physical thing. Like a weight on my chest. I keep reaching for you in bed and you're not there. Come home soon. Love, your Nadia. He opened another. Random. From 2 years in. Ethan. I don't know if these are reaching you. I don't know anything anymore. I'm scared. Money is gone. I had to sell the sofa today. I cried about a sofa. Ethan. Please call me. Please. Another. From the month she was evicted. I'm pregnant. Ethan. I'm pregnant. Please call me. Please. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe. She had told him. She had told him. And Sophia had buried it in a folder. Marcus. Where is Sophia right now? She's at your Dubai office. She doesn't know you're in New York. Keep it that way. I want 2 things. I want every financial record, every intercepted communication, every shred of evidence compiled and sent to the DA's office. And I want a formal charge filed by end of day. Already working on it. And Marcus, make sure she knows it was me. Make sure she knows I know everything. Ethan went back to the diner. Adam was asleep on the booth seat, his head on Nadia's lap. Nadia was staring out the window. He sat down across from her. He put his phone on the table. Screen up. I want you to read one, he said quietly. I want you to read one of your own emails. The ones you sent me. She looked at the phone. Then at him. What is that? Sophia intercepted them. All of them. 412 emails. I never saw a single one. Nadia didn't move. 412. Yes. Her hand shook as she reached for the phone. She read in silence. He watched her face as she read her own words back. Watched her relive a version of herself she had buried. The version that still believed. That still hoped. That still loved him enough to keep writing. Her eyes filled. I was so sure you just didn't care, she whispered. I know. I told myself you were a coward. That you had chosen your work over us. That you didn't deserve my grief. I understand. But I kept writing anyway. She looked up. Even when I thought you weren't reading. Even after I stopped believing you cared. I just couldn't stop writing to you. He reached across the table. Just his hand. Open. Not grabbing. Not demanding. Just there. She looked at it for a long time. Then she put her hand in his. Just for a moment. Then she pulled away. This doesn't fix it, she said. I know. You can't just show up and... I know, Nadia. I'm not asking you to forgive me today. I'm not asking for anything except the chance to show you that I'm not the man Sophia made me out to be. She looked at Adam sleeping. He deserves a father, she said finally. Yes, he does. And so did Lily. Silence. Will you tell me about her? Ethan asked. About Lily? Nadia's breath caught. She was small. The nurses said she might not survive the first night. But she did. She was stubborn like that. A tiny, broken smile. She had the strongest grip. Even at 2 pounds. She would grab my finger and hold on like she was daring anyone to take her away. Ethan's eyes burned. For 6 weeks, she held on. And then one morning I came to the NICU, and they told me she had passed in the night. Nadia's voice was steady now. The steadiness of someone who has told a hard story so many times it has become just words. Just words that used to be unbearable. I held her for 2 hours after. Just me. No one came. The social worker offered to call someone, but I had no one to call. Ethan's face was wet. He hadn't noticed when that started. She's buried in Greenwood, Nadia said. I saved for 3 months to buy the plot. It was the most expensive thing I've paid for in 6 years. The most expensive thing she paid for in 6 years was a burial plot for the daughter Ethan never knew existed. While Sophia Walsh was spending his stolen millions on first-class flights and luxury apartments. Sophia Walsh was in her office when the call came. She was on the phone with a travel agent booking a villa in Santorini. Summer plans. With stolen money. The first knock on her office door was from Marcus. She smiled when she saw him. Marcus, I didn't know you were in New York. I'm not here for a visit, Sophia. She noticed the 2 men behind him. Suits. Badges. Her smile stayed in place for exactly 2 more seconds. What is this? This is an arrest warrant. Financial fraud? wire fraud, theft of $1.4 million, and interference with personal communications. You have the right to remain silent. Her face went through several things very quickly. Confusion, calculation, fear, then something ugly. This is ridiculous. I've dedicated 7 years to Ethan. 7 years of my life. To stealing from him, Marcus said. And from his wife. His wife. Her voice dropped. She wasn't right for him. She was holding him back. He was meant for more than his wife and his 2 children, Marcus interrupted. One of whom died while you were on a shopping trip in Milan. Something shifted in Sophia's face. Just for a second. Something that might have been guilt. But it was brief. And then the handcuffs went on. In the diner in New York, Ethan's phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. Done. One word. Ethan showed it to Nadia. She looked at it for a long time. Is that supposed to make me feel better? No. I don't think anything is supposed to make you feel better right now. I think you're entitled to feel everything you're feeling for as long as you need to feel it. Nadia nodded slowly. She stole your money. Yes. She stole my children's safety. Yes. She stole Lily's life. Ethan had no answer for that one. Because there was none. Some things cannot be undone. Some damage cannot be repaired. It can only be carried. Together or alone. Sophia is arrested. But justice for Lily can never truly come. Comment Lily's justice if you believe Sophia should pay for the rest of her life. Let's see how many of you are still here. Ethan did not ask Nadia to move in. He did not offer her a penthouse or a credit card or a driver. He had learned something in the diner. He had learned that Nadia didn't need grand gestures. She needed proof. Not words. Proof. So he rented an apartment 3 blocks from where she was staying at the shelter. He paid 6 months in advance. He furnished it simply. Clean. Warm. Safe. A bedroom for Nadia. A bedroom for Adam. A small garden in the back. He gave her the keys and said only this. This is yours. No conditions. No expectations. Just a place that is safe and warm and yours. She took the keys. She didn't say thank you. She didn't have to. The first week was careful. Polite. Ethan showed up every day at 7 a.m. with breakfast. He learned that Adam liked scrambled eggs and hated toast. He learned that Nadia still drank her coffee with too much sugar. He learned that she woke up at 3 a.m. sometimes, terrified, from dreams she wouldn't describe. He learned to just sit with her when that happened. Not talking, just present, just there. Proof. On the second week, Adam asked him a question. They were in the garden. Adam was drawing with chalk. Are you my daddy? Ethan looked at Nadia. Nadia looked at him. Yes, Ethan said. I am. Adam considered this carefully. Why didn't you live with us before? Because I made a mistake. A very big one. I was far away when I should have been home. Are you going to be far away again? No, Ethan said. Never again. Adam went back to his drawing. As if that was enough. As if it was simple. Because for a 4-year-old, it was. Stay. Be present. Don't leave. The simplest instructions in the world. The hardest ones to follow. Ethan had built a business empire following complex strategies across 12 countries. But a 4-year-old boy had just given him instructions that were simpler and more important than anything he had learned in 6 years abroad. On a Thursday in late October, Nadia said, I'm going to visit Lily tomorrow. Do you want to come? He had been waiting for this invitation. He had not asked. He had learned to wait. Yes, he said. I want to come very much. Greenwood Cemetery in the morning is very quiet. The light comes through the trees at a low angle. Everything smells like wet leaves and stone. Adam walked between them, holding each of their hands. He had been here before. Many times. He knew the way. A 4-year-old leading his father to his sister's grave. The stone was small. White marble. Simple. Lily cross. 6 weeks of love. Forever in our hearts. Nadia had brought flowers. White daisies. She arranged them at the base of the stone with practiced hands. Hi, baby girl. Mommy's here. And Daddy came with us today. First time. Adam crouched down and pressed both hands flat on the stone. Hi, Lily. I brought Daddy. Ethan's knees hit the ground. He couldn't stand anymore. He pressed his hand next to Adam's on the cold stone. Hi, Lily. I'm your dad. I'm so sorry I wasn't here. I'm so sorry I didn't know you. I'm so sorry it took me this long to find your mom. I promise you. I promise you. She will never be alone again. And neither will your brother. He couldn't say anything else. The words stopped coming. Because grief doesn't have words for some things. It only has silence. And wait. And the cold stone under your hand. Nadia knelt beside him. She didn't pull him close, but she didn't pull away either. She just stayed, present, the way he was learning to stay. 3 months after Ethan returned, Sophia Walsh's case went to trial. She had fought the charges, hired expensive lawyers with money Ethan's lawyers were in the process of recovering. She looked polished in the courtroom, controlled, until Nadia took the stand. Nadia wore a simple navy dress. Her hair was clean and pulled back. She sat in the witness box and she spoke without notes, without drama, without theater. She just told the truth, in order, beginning to end. The eviction, the pregnancy, the flight to Dubai, the lobby, the $200, the shelter, the twins, the 6 weeks, the NICU, the last breath, the burial, the years on the street, Adam in the cold, the paper cup and the sign. She spoke for 40 minutes. The courtroom was completely silent. Someone was crying in the gallery. Multiple people. At one point, one of the jurors put her hand over her mouth. Sophia's lawyer tried to cross-examine. Mrs. Cross, isn't it true that you never actually confirmed with your husband that the transfers had stopped? Nadia looked at her calmly. I sent 412 emails. I made hundreds of phone calls. I flew 17 hours. I stood in his lobby. What else was I supposed to do? No further questions. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Sophia Walsh was found guilty on all counts. Sentenced to 11 years. Plus full restitution. $1.4 million. To be returned to Ethan Cross, which he immediately placed in a trust. In Lily's name. He didn't keep the money. He didn't donate it to charity in his own name. He created the Lily Cross Fund, dedicated to supporting single mothers in crisis. Nadia's story, used to help women living Nadia's story. Healing is not a moment. It is 1,000 small moments, strung together. Over time, some days Nadia laughed, full and real and loud, at something Adam said, at a film they watched, at a joke Ethan told badly. On those days, Ethan felt something in his chest loosen, like a fist slowly opening. Other days, she was unreachable, somewhere inside herself, in a room with walls he couldn't see through. On those days, he learned to sit at the door and wait. Not knock, not push, just wait. She started therapy in November. Dr. Keene, Wednesdays and Fridays. She came home from each session exhausted, like she'd run a race. But slowly, the nightmares started to space out. 3 times a week. Then once. Then occasionally. Ethan got his own therapist too. Because Dr. Keene was right about something she said to him once. You can't help her find solid ground if you're still standing on sand. By December, they had a routine. Breakfast together. Adam to school. Ethan to work, from home. Now, he had restructured his company. Handed over Dubai operations to his managing director. He was done with distance. Lunches sometimes. Always dinner. Always together. Adam started calling him Dad. Not Daddy. Dad. Like it was already normal. Already permanent. One evening in January, Nadia was reading in the living room. Ethan sat across from her. Adam was asleep upstairs. The apartment was quiet. Warm. She looked up from her book. What are you doing? Watching you. That's unsettling. Probably. She almost smiled. Ethan. Nadia. I don't know if I can love you the way I used to. I know. The woman who loved you like that. She went through something that changed her. I know. But. She paused. I think maybe I can love you differently. The way I am now. Not the way I was then. He held very still. Is that something you want? She asked. Yes, he said immediately. Yes. The way you are now is the person I want to deserve. She looked at him for a long moment. Then she went back to her book. But this time, she smiled at the page. And he saw it. And it was enough. For now, it was more than enough. 6 months after Ethan returned home, the Lily Cross Fund opened its first facility. It was called simply Lily's House, a residential center for mothers and children in crisis. 20 rooms, a shared kitchen, a garden, a playroom, childcare while mothers attended job training and therapy. A place that said, in every room and every detail, you matter. Your children matter. You are not invisible. The opening day was rainy. Of course it was. Ethan thought that was right. Because some things begin in rain and end in light. Nadia stood at the podium. Adam beside her, holding her hand. She looked at the crowd, 20 families, local officials, staff, volunteers. She looked at Ethan. Then she began. 3 years ago, I sat on a piece of cardboard on West 42nd Street. I held a paper cup and a sign. And I watched people walk past me like I wasn't there. a cup and a sign. And I watched people walk past me like I wasn't there. I want you to understand something about that experience. It doesn't make you invisible. It makes you more aware of who sees you. Most people looked away, but some people dropped things in the cup. And one day, one person stopped. And that day changed everything. This house is for the people who are still waiting for that person to stop. We are stopping. We are seeing you. You are not invisible. You are not less than. You are someone's mother, someone's daughter, someone's story that is not over yet. This house is named for my daughter, Lily. She lived for 6 weeks. She never saw a warm room or a garden or a family that wasn't broken. I cannot give her those things now, but I can make sure other children have them. That is what she is worth. That is what all of you are worth. Welcome home. After the ceremony, Ethan found Nadia in the garden. She was looking at the small section they had planted with white daisies. For Lily, you were magnificent, Ethan said. I was terrified, she said. I know. It's the same thing sometimes. She turned to look at him. Fully. The way she hadn't in a long time. Thank you, she said. For what? For coming home. Even if it was 6 years late. For not giving up when I didn't make it easy. For letting me be angry. For staying anyway. I should have come home 6 years ago. I should have been there for every moment I missed. I should have. Stop, she said quietly. We can't go back. We can only decide what happens next. She reached out, her hand in his. Not brief this time. Not pulled away. Just there. Together. In the garden. In the rain. Among the white daisies. And somewhere, in a small white grave in Greenwood Cemetery, a little girl named Lily, who only lived 6 weeks, who was stubborn and tiny and held on with both hands, had changed everything. Had made her mother stronger. Had made her father human again. Had made a place of warmth and safety for children who had none. 6 weeks. And a legacy that would last forever. We talk a lot about success. About money. About building things. About making it. Ethan Cross had built an empire. He had the buildings and the planes and the accounts with too many zeros. And he had stood in a penthouse in Dubai, completely alone, writing love letters to a wife who never received them. Because real success was never in the buildings. It was in the woman waiting for him. It was in the children he almost never knew. It was in showing up. Every single day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Nadia Cross taught herself to survive. She did not need saving. She needed to be seen. And once she was seen, once someone finally stopped and chose her, she built something that mattered. Something that will last long after the money is spent. And the buildings are torn down. And the empires are forgotten. She built a home for people who had none. Named it for the daughter she lost. And planted white daisies in the garden. So that every spring, Lily blooms. Nadia never stopped writing to a man she thought had forgotten her. 412 emails. For nothing. For love. For the hope that maybe one day he would read them. Tell me, have you ever loved someone that stubbornly? Have you ever held on when every sign told you to let go? Drop your story in the comments. I read every single one. Speech balloon comment, Lily, if this story moved you. Thumbs up like if you believe love is worth fighting for. Bell subscribe so you never miss a story like this. Round pushpin and tell me, where are you watching from?